You keeping up with the trial? No, dude, I've not. I try to stay away from those things just because they do some fuck me up, bro. I've been seeing some videos like not like videos of the trial, but like people with their conspiracy theories. Yeah, a lot of women think it was a husband. I saw something about her Apple Watch or something.
Patrick Clancy lost his whole family that night, and there are so many ridiculous theories going around online right now. I thought I'd take just a moment to go through some of them. I did a video on this earlier. You can go back and check. I actually put in clips
Hold
from.
on, let me get this straight because once again, I have not been keeping up. So she's on trial because she allegedly unalived her two kids, right? And then she threw herself out the window. Second story window, right? Oh, three kids? A la verga.
Testimonies in the trial just to prove what I'm actually saying is true. So if you want to go watch that, you can. But for now, let's just go through some of the theories people have been saying online. First of all, people online are trying to say that Patrick was cheating on Lindsay and that he's now married to the woman and has children. This is completely false. He does not have any other children, but yes, he is remarried, and he got remarried just this past April of 2026. His children were killed in 2023 in January. 4 months later, he packed up his whole life and moved to New York to try to make a fresh start after what happened. Now, a reporter had gone to his home and done a huge interview with him.
Low key move fast, no?
And in his new apartment in New York, he had tons of things that still belonged to his children. He had a quilt made from some of their clothing. He had some of their toys, pictures, etc. He was not forgetting his children. He was trying to continue living. Patrick was living in New York from 2023 and didn't meet his wife for a whole year after living there. He didn't meet her until later in 2024. They dated for 2 years and then they just got married this year.
He also went on vacation 4 months after. Wow.
The night this happened, Lindsay had texted him and said, "Can you pick up dinner?" And then also asked him to pick up something at the drugstore. So when Patrick left his home with his 3 children alive with Lindsay, he went first to the drugstore, picked up what she needed, and then he went to the restaurant. When he got home, he testified that he came in the house with those items, set them on the table while he called for Lindsay and said, "The food's here." Now, one of the things going around right now is the fact that the dinner plates were on top of the drugstore bag. People think that means that he was home and had a hand in doing this with his children. That is not the case. He said when he walked in the home, he was calling for Lindsay and the kids while he's getting the food ready, getting the plates out, etc. He didn't immediately go look for them because he wasn't concerned. When no one comes, he starts to get concerned and he sees that his bedroom door is locked. He gets it unlocked, goes in, and sees the shape of the room.
Wait, what? Her text messages asking for help and explaining how she felt was heartbreaking. That man felt her cries for help. She did everything on her own.
And the window open. Lindsay had tried to take her life 3 different ways. She used a knife on her wrists, her neck, crushed up all the pills that she had and took them with lemonade, and then threw herself out the window Superman.
Wait, is she Superman? That bend. Wait, is Lindsay out here saying she's innocent? Or how is she pleading? Do y'all know? Even the museum footage they played, the husband was standing far away from them while she was managing all 3 kids in public. Yeah, well, I don't know very much, but that sounds like a dad wanting to just, be on his own. She pleaded guilty. Wait, she pleaded not guilty or guilty? I'm seeing two different things. She doesn't remember anything, woke up from a coma and asked where her kids are. Oh fuck. She really she really thought she did it because she was having intrusive thoughts before. She said she did it, but is finding out in real time it was not her. Oh, damn. She's pleading guilty, but it's like guilty. That's the same. I'm guilty. Hmm. Mind you, her body was 82 degrees. Anybody that body temp is not responsive. No, her lawyers said she did it, but not at fault due to system failing to help her. She pleaded not guilty.
Style. She broke several bones and shattered her thorax and ended up paralyzed from the waist down and in a wheelchair for the rest of her life. People online are trying to say that the cuts that she made weren't deep. Her lawyers already specified, saying they were 3.5 centimeters deep. People have said that the second floor wasn't that high. It was 20 feet and she landed on her head. People have also been talking about the fact that the pills she took were crushed up, and they think this means that Patrick must have done it and gave it to her in her lemonade. It is a lot easier to take a bunch of pills if you crush them up, and I believe there is a theory going around that it's also easier for your body to digest them if they're crushed up. As for her not wearing her Apple Watch, which she always had on, she was cutting her wrist, so of course she had to remove the Apple Watch. People online are questioning the outfit Patrick had on in the surveillance video footage. So this is from...
Yeah, but in that one video, they said that... Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back. I don't want to say anything wrong.
The pharmacy at 5:33 p.m. You can see he has a black sweater or coat thing on, jeans, and his shoes. And then this is him on surveillance at the restaurant picking up the food. Again, the black top, the jeans, and the same shoes. They might look different in both pictures, but it's lighting, different cameras, and angles. It is the same outfit. There was an email sent at 5:24 p.m. from Patrick to his work. The lawyer presented it in the timeline and says, "Was this sent from your laptop?" And Patrick responds, "I don't know. It could have been sent from my phone." Prosecution then gets up and says, "Did you send this email from your phone after you left the home at 5:15? Because he didn't get seen on surveillance at the drugstore until several minutes later. So they believe he was sitting in his car and he sent this email. People were commenting that Patrick's fingerprints were on the exercise bands that had been around the children's neck. Yes, that is true, because you can...
God, I didn't need to know that. What the fuck?
Can hear him on the 911 call. He removes the band from his children's neck. So of course, his DNA is going to be on that, and Lindsay's was as well. And Sue O'Connell, who is the courtroom analyst from NBC Boston, has been in the courtroom, heard the actual 911 call, and has been reporting on this case since day one. She's clearing up any misconceptions, and she says that they actually heard Lindsay talking on the 911 call.
I was in the courtroom when it played, and what I heard from Patrick Clancy when he found his children did not sound like a performance to me. The screaming, the howling, the crying.
You could hear Lindsay say the word basement.
She was moaning. Her speech was difficult to make out. The one word I could hear clearly was basement.
One of the very first things her lawyer said during opening statements is that Lindsay knows what she did to those children and she wanted to die. And to this day, she still wants to die because of what she did. Patrick has never been considered a suspect in this case. He's always been viewed as a victim, as has Lindsay because of her postpartum psychosis. When Lindsay first woke up in the hospital, she had no memory of what happened, but it soon came back to her. She knows what she did, she knows why she did, and she remembers those feelings, unfortunately, for Lindsay. This case is heartbreakingly devastated for everyone involved, so please just take a moment before you start reposting or sharing these conspiracy theories, because there is no fact or evidence behind them.
Yeah, that's tough.
We may now have proof that Lindsay Clancy did not take the life of her kids, because there is no way for her to have strangled her youngest son and for her body to have been 82 degrees. It is impossible. Here's why. So during the trial, Patrick said he left his house at 5:15, but we know he sent his work email at 5:24 through something he called Surface Pro. Surface Pro is a 2-in-1 hybrid computer, kind of like a tablet that transforms into a laptop.
Listen, man, no matter what, karma's a bitch. Karma's gonna... Look, if he did it, I'm not saying he did, but I'm just saying the conspiracies are saying he might have. If he did, dude, karma is gonna come in handy. Don't even trip.
This is important. Reddington then later asks him, "You sent the email from where?" And he says, "My laptop," but then later hesitates and says, "Maybe it was from my phone." But we know it was sent from his laptop, and his laptop was pinged at his home at that time, putting Patrick at his home at 5:24 p.m. And the drive from his home to CVS is 3 to 4 minutes, and we saw him walk through the doors of CVS at 5:32 p.m., meaning he left his home earliest at 5:25 and latest at 5:29. At 5:33, he calls Lindsay saying they're out of stock of the Pedialyte and he's going to get the generic brand, which we know is a lie because after looking at the evidence photos, you can see through the bag that he actually got the Pedialyte. And a minute later at 5:34 is when Lindsay calls him back, putting her at the top floor of the house at that time, and we don't know where she went after that, giving her about 5 to 10 minutes max from when Patrick left until that phone call. And the toxicology report said that at this time, she had 2 times the recommended levels of Seroquel in her system, which would cause heavy sedation and make it hard for anyone to even...
Okay, as a husband, father myself, I don't shit. I'm just thinking, why go to the store when your wife's on medication and she could like crash at any time? You know what I mean? Like go to sleep at any time if it's that strong. And you have 3 kids alone or with the mom. Interesting. Her journal notes broke my heart. Oh, damn.
move. And a minute later at 5:35 would have been the earliest time that Lindsay could have jumped. Patrick then left the restaurant at...
Oh, wait, because he did. Bro, wait, is a conspiracy. Is one conspiracy is that he gave her the medication and she knocked out. She was knocked out. He came home and did the thing and then threw out the window. Is that a conspiracy right there? Oh my gosh.
5:55, and it's a 10 to 12 minute drive from the restaurant to his house,
Damn.
meaning he could have got there anytime between 6:05 to 6:07. Patrick then calls 911 at 6:11 after claiming to have trouble calling them, which is not possible with 911.
I could see that happening though. Fuck. Damn.
He also said he heard Lindsay talking when everyone else said she was nonverbal at this point, but that's a different story. First responders then arrived at 6:15 and their youngest son Callan, the 8-month-old, got to the ER sometime between 6:30 and 6:40. And 10 minutes after Callan arrived, they were able to revive his heartbeat. Callan was 8 months old, and the longest an infant at his age can go without a heartbeat is 20 to 30 minutes. That's very rare.
Damn.
And in special cases, 45 minutes. So if they were able to revive his heartbeat at 6:40, 30 minutes before that would be 6:10, but Patrick would have been home at that time and seen what was happening. So let's just say it happened 45 minutes before at 5:55 when Patrick wasn't home. The only problem is that would only give Lindsay 12 minutes to do that to her kids, run upstairs, jump out the window, and for her body to get to 82 degrees, which is impossible. Because the minimum amount of time it would take a woman her age to get to that temperature is 45 minutes to 4 hours,
Yeah.
and that is severe conditions. One claim is that she jumped right after getting off the phone with Patrick, but that wouldn't make sense either because she would have had to have done that to her kids before 5:35, making it impossible.
She had voiced that she had thoughts of harming herself and the kids and still left them alone. Yeah, so I think, yeah, I'm making my own conspiracy now. I think he took advantage of her saying all that. And he wanted to out some way from that marriage. And instead of fucking divorcing like a normal person, he said, you know what? Let me kill my whole family, bro. So yeah, he definitely took advantage of her crying for help. In that case, he took all the money from GoFund. Damn.
Possible for them to bring Callan's heartbeat back. So at the minimum, it would have been impossible for her to have done that to Callan, her body to have gotten to 82 degrees, and then for them to have revived Callan's heartbeat. Just impossible. Let me know what you guys think about this because things are just not adding up. But rest in peace to her poor kids, and as the trial continues next week, I'll keep you guys updated.
He's a millionaire and remarried to a doctor. Oh my gosh, bro. I didn't think I was going to spend this whole life talking about it, but I'm hooked already.
This is the exact moment that I realized that Patrick is the killer.
You know, one night she said, do you mind? She started by saying, I'm not mad or anything, but do you mind sleeping in the basement? You know, one night she said, do you mind? She started by saying, I'm not mad or anything, but
That is genuinely the most horrifying
Because he changed it. He changed what she said. Or what am I missing? The eye contact?
thing I have ever seen in my life. The fluttering of his eyelashes, the almost like he feels like he's telling a teacher on her or something for like asking him to sleep in the basement. He's imitating her in this moment. Like, bro, what? You're a weird ass bitch. This is the exact moment.
Yeah.
It is not scientifically possible for Lindsay to both have strangled Callan and for her body to have been at 82 degrees. I have been up for the past 3 nights until 2 a.m. trying to put this together like a puzzle because of my ADHD, and I can't like not solve a puzzle. Let me tell you guys how I got here. Patrick claims to have left the house at 5:15 p.m., but he sent an email from Surface Pro at 5:24 p.m. Very early in the trial, Patrick said Surface Pro was from his laptop. When Reddington mentioned it later, you sent an email from, what was it called? Surface Pro? At that point, Patrick responded, from my laptop. So this is the second time he said Surface Pro was from his laptop. Once Patrick sees the email and the timestamp, that is when he backtracked.
I think cameras would have caught him. Did they not have cameras at their house? Were they off? Did he turn them off? Were they not working? What up?
And says, well, it could have been from my phone. But Reddington already knows that it was sent from his laptop and not his phone because he has the forensics, and that's why it was submitted to evidence. So that puts Patrick at the home at 5:24 p.m. That means the soonest
they had Wi-Fi issues that day, bro. Dude. Out of all the days to have Wi-Fi issues, that was a day. How convenient. But he's IT? He knew what the fuck he was doing, bro. He knew. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the mathing, bro.
he could have left would have been 5:25 p.m., which means the latest he could have left would have been 5:29 p.m. because he walked through the doors of CVS at 5:32. From 5:25 to 5:29 is when Patrick actually left the house. Now, there's been no CVS footage from outside when he pulled in and at what time. And there are cameras outside, so we need to see when he pulled in to get...
Wait, don't give me that shit. He couldn't call 911 because Wi-Fi was not working. Okay, please don't tell me that's a thing in the case. Please do not tell me that's a thing in this fucking case. Saying you couldn't call 911 because Wi-Fi wasn't working. Please tell me you're fucking... Please say psych. Please say psych, because that is the biggest BS answer ever, dude. That's the biggest BS answer. You literally don't need Wi-Fi to call the cops. You literally... And also, you found your kids unalived. Or you found your kids unresponsive. Any normal parent... I don't give a shit, dude. I'm going to the neighbor. My Wi-Fi don't work. I don't care. I'm going to a neighbor to fucking call the cops. Bro, and you don't need Wi-Fi. You literally... Just data from your phone. No, he testified that his phone was switching between Wi-Fi and cell phone data. Bitch, telling you, if I'm in a panic, my phone's not working, I'm shutting down. Look, all you do is scroll down, turn off Wi-Fi, and you're in data real fast. You're in data real fast. Damn, y'all pissing me off with this case, bro.
Give us a more accurate time of when he left the home. That means at maximum he'd been gone for 9 minutes. At minimum he'd been gone for 5. At 5:32 p.m. he walks into CVS. At 5:33 p.m. he calls Lindsay to say they don't have Pedialyte, but they have generic. We now know this is a lie because on the crime scene you see the name brand Pedialyte through the bag. 1 minute later, 5:34 is when Lindsay calls him back. So the moment that Lindsay calls Patrick back, this is when her movement in the house stops being tracked and it leaves her at the top floor of the house. We do not know that
she was passed out, maybe, by the medicine, allegedly.
She left upstairs after that. That gives her a maximum of 9 minutes from the time he left until that phone call. Her toxicology reports say that the Seroquel levels in her system were double that of a therapeutic dose, which is sedating. So is that why she stopped moving upstairs? All of that brings us to 5:35 p.m., which is the soonest time it would have been possible for Lindsay to jump. 5:55 p.m. is when Patrick leaves the restaurant. The drive time is between 10 and 12 minutes. This places him at the home somewhere between 6:05 and 6:07. At 6:11 is when 911 is called. Patrick claims he was having trouble calling 911, but we all obviously know now that this is a lie because 911 calls bypass any sort of service errors you may have. Okay, so this is really where it shifts.
Also, yes, he brought up a good point. Literally, if you don't have service, I believe on iPhone you could still call 911. Or am I tripping? You could do the SOS thing on iPhone. Good. I'm glad he brought it up.
At 6:15 is when the first responders arrive. Callan arrived to the ER somewhere between 6:30 and 6:40, but because I'm trying to give everything the benefit of the doubt, I'm using the earliest times possible, so let's say 6:30. It is on record that 10 minutes after the ambulance arrived to the emergency room, 10 minutes after, they were able to start Callan's heartbeat back up. In order for them to get the heartbeat back with an infant in those circumstances, the longest his heartbeat could not have been going was 30 minutes, right? And that's already rare. Like the most rare, 1 in a million chance would be 45 minutes. So if Callan's heartbeat restarted at 6:40, 30 minutes, which is extreme, would have been 6:10. Patrick was home at 6:07. There is a psychotic, like I said, once in a million shot that they're able to get the heartbeat back after 45 minutes max, but even that puts his strangulation at 5:55. If he was strangled at 5:55, that never would have given Lindsay time for her to jump from the window and for her.
I'm sorry, but I hope a neighbor comes out with camera footage, from outside or something, dude. This case is literally pissing me off, bro. What the fuck?
Body to drop to 82 degrees. Even with all of her injuries, it is scientifically impossible for him to be strangled at 5:55 p.m., for her to jump and her.
This is legit gonna be another Netflix documentary. 100%, dude. And TikTok is gonna crack the case. This was in 2023, so I think if there was footage, it would have been out by now. Ah, fuck, you're right. But I don't know, maybe someone, oh shit, what? I looked through my cameras again. Look, here it is.
Body to be at 82 degrees, even with all the injuries she had. One of the claims that they're making is that she got off the phone with him and that's when she jumped. But if that were the case, if Callan had been out since 5:35 p.m., they never in a million years would have been able to bring back a heartbeat. Feel free, if you are a medical professional, to correct me on any of this, but I've been researching this for 3 days, so I'm wondering now, did he do the first 2 kids before he left? And then the baby when he came back? Maybe he wasn't going to do the baby?
Yeah, that's true, Billy. I think it's gonna suck ass. Let's just say he didn't, right? It is gonna suck for him. His life is gonna be ruined. But I don't know, man. There's a lot of a lot of things here in this case as of what I saw. I'm pretty sure there's hella more. I don't know. There's a lot of little holes in here. But also, if you guys say that he didn't help her for shit, then yeah. Once again, I don't know. It does feel like Chris Watts a little bit, a little bit. Um, I hope they go after him when all this is done. Her lawyers are setting him up for questions. I hope so. If she did it, wouldn't her DNA be on the bands? Yeah, her fingerprints. Her fingerprints. All 5 DNAs were found. Oh. Oh no, I was gonna say something else. Yeah, I forgot what the fuck was I gonna say. Oh well. Exactly, they were her workout bands. He clean it? What?
Shit's getting weird. part infinity. I was watching the Lindsay Clancy trial today, and the mother-in-law was on the stand.
I want to see the mother-in-law. Is this her?
Evidence presented to the grand jury.
As a mother-in-law, did you have any observation to observe Lindsay with her kids?
Yes. She was very nurturing, very loving. She was a wonderful mother. Wonderful.
Did you ever see her treat her middle son, Dawson, bad because you didn't like him?
No.
Did she love Dawson, in your opinion?
She loved her children, all of them, very, very much.
As a mother-in-law,
Evidence presented to the grand jury.
Now, are you an active member in the Catholic Church?
Yes.
So you're aware that murder is considered a mortal sin?
Counsel, could I see you over here?
Now, are you...
It's a sin. Just like a gay person, man.
You're not gay, it's a demon that's inside of you.
It's a sin. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Mother-in-law. That pissed me off.
She was very nurturing, very loving. She was a wonderful mother. Wonderful. She loved her children, all of them, very, very much.
You have an opinion with your observations of Lindsay as to whether or not she was offered help and would just spurn it and not see doctors and not have
She was
treatment?
begging for help.
Damn, she was begging for help, she said. The judge caught a sidebar so fast after that. Yeah, dude, I noticed.
She was very nurturing, very loving. She was a wonderful mother. Wonderful.
Did she love Dawson, in your opinion?
She loved her children, all of them, very, very much.
Did you find that Lindsay was interested at all times in trying to get better and see doctors?
Very much so.
Did you find at all, do you have an
Someone says she knows exactly who her son is.
opinion with your observations of Lindsay as to whether or not she was offered help and would just spurn it and not see doctors and not have
She was
treatment?
begging for help.
Now, are you an active member in the Catholic Church?
Yes.
So you're aware that murder is considered a mortal sin?
Counsel, could I see you over here?
Yeah, why did he do that? You can see her face change a little bit.
Now, are you an active member in the...
Acting with her children as a mother.
She was very nurturing, very loving. She was a...
All right, let me see. Y'all tag me in more.
In terms of your interaction,
Wait, is this the grandpa? Lindsay Clancy trial day, husband's father. Okay, father-in-law. This is a father-in-law.
with Lindsay and Patrick and the kids, while there were some struggles going on, did you and your wife offer to take the kids to your house overnight to kind of give them a break?
I did mention that to my son.
Okay. And was that offer declined?
Yes.
And
because he wanted her to go crazy. Because I'm pretty sure, dude, if they offered that to Lindsay, she would probably say yes. Because if y'all don't have kids, bro, you need a break, dude. Sometimes, listen, even an hour break is so fucking good, dude. Just to, like, reset, you know, because kids be driving you crazy, man. Especially if you're going through it. So, yeah. Obviously, he said no because it sounds like he doesn't deal or he didn't deal with the kids. She would only let people take care of her kids at their house. Well, también, stay at the house, but he said no.
going back to Thanksgiving of 2022, when you were interacting with Lindsay, I think you previously said that her demeanor was good. She was quiet. Did you also say at one point she had a little blankness to her at times?
She seemed to at times.
And can you tell us like what that was?
Just like a stare.
Kind of staring off into the distance, distracted?
No, just not totally interacting. You know, just sort of.
Okay. So at some points.
Almost like nervous. Kind of like.
Nerves.
Almost just like, you know, something like that.
Okay, so at some points she was staring a little bit, seemed a little nervous, but then in other times she was interacting with everyone as she normally would?
Pretty much.
You mentioned earlier when you were talking about Lindsay having a little bit of difficulty getting Dawson seated at Thanksgiving that he was being a little silly.
Yeah.
Was that typical for him to behave in that way?
Yeah, he was a handful, but he was good. He was a good boy.
Going back to the night of January 24th, 2023, at some point in time that night, did you get a phone call from Patrick?
In January?
January 24th, 2023.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes, we did.
And what was his demeanor during that call?
Is this the night of the?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It was terrible.
And did you and your wife leave your home and head to the hospital to be with him?
Yes.
Thank you.
Attorney Reddington.
Thank you.
And this whole time, Lindsay's there listening to everything, huh?
Good afternoon.
Yo, Beauty with the 50 stream streak. Damn. Shout out.
Mr. Clancy, just a couple of questions. You were summoned to be here by the DA, is that correct?
Correct.
And you gave statements to whoever wanted statements. You were very cooperative with the investigation, is that right?
Yes.
And being as you're the obviously grandfather and father of Pat, over the years from the time they were dating, engaged, married, kids, you and your wife were pretty close with both of them, were you not?
Yes.
Do you have an opinion as to how Lindsay was as a mother that you could see?
She was very, very good. She fed them great. She did a lot of things with them. They did like the all-American family.
And
hallelujah.
The district attorney had asked you about Thanksgiving of 22, November 16th of 22, and she made reference, I think you had responded that she appeared to be quiet, and then she used the term, did you know about the struggles? Can you tell me what the struggles were? Do you know what she meant by that?
I knew.
Go to sidebar.
Sure, yeah.
Bro, when it gets good, do they sidebar all the fucking time? What the fuck? Okay, so was he cheating on her beforehand? Or what? Yeah, it does sound like Chris Watts' situation. But once again, we will see. We'll let God do his work, karma do her work, and we'll be back, man. We'll be back.